man, Big Nick, superhero guy, know your stuff. Let's talk about Man of Steel.
I like what they did. I feel as a reboot, they completely changed what the other movies were about. You can tell they didn't want to pay attention to the original movies. You can tell that the original movies were tossed out. That they wanted to start over and give it more of a humanity, more of a modern comic book feel. And I really enjoyed what they did.
Do you feel this had a real, like a darker tone to it than, say, other Superman lore?
I do. If you watch other Superman movies, for example, they're not as brutal. The fights were visceral. They were just absolutely brutal. I mean, like you said, they leveled half of Metropolis. That alone brings in a brutal, kind of a dark feel to it. Not to mention the fact that there's more humanity to the characters. It's not just that line drawn between good and evil. There was a reasoning behind everything, and that's always makes it more human.
So do you think, because you know Christopher Nolan was kind of in on this, do you think they're going to maybe down the road try and get Batman and Superman together, maybe get some other guys in there together?
I'd like to see him do that. I'd like to see him do a Justice League like they did the Avengers, just being a DC fan myself. I don't know how they would do that. I mean, the Avengers, each individual character is larger than life, but in DC, it's so much more larger than life. I mean, it'd be really hard to write a story where they interact naturally. That'd be very challenging, especially if you're not setting it up originally in the movies like now, like they kind of were in the Avengers.
Were you disappointed with maybe the lack of his other powers, Superman's powers?
It didn't really bother me as much, just because in that specific situation, it just seemed like they wanted it to be more brutal. It was all about Zod being brutal, and he just had to rise to that level. I would have liked to see some cool tricks, like him using his X-ray vision and stuff like that, but I don't think it took away from the amazing fight scenes that they did in the movie.
Definitely. Did you have anything, like, complaint-wise or something you didn't care for this?
I actually didn't. First superhero movie I didn't have the little nerd nitpick stuff with. I was really impressed with the way they did it and the way they presented the characters, Lois Lane especially. They were different, but they were welcomed. I like them. I like them all.
So on a scale of 1 to 10, what would you rate this?
Oh, I'd give it a 10. Absolutely.
See that? 2 10s.
Absolutely a 10.
10 and a 10. And Mike will have to give it a 5 out of 5. If he doesn't, it's a long walk home.
I swung the other way.
Yeah, but
That S.
stands for hope. Mike's hoping to get this.
So, Man of Steel, I can tell it was written by the same people as The Dark Knight, and this is, in its own right, one of the best new superhero movies I've ever seen.
Was it better than Dark Knight Rises? Yes, it was.
I don't compare those two. Those
No,
are two different superheroes.
No, it's not. They're in the same universe.
Yes, but they're two different heroes.
I'll give you a time out. That pissed me off too. There was not even a mention of Gotham or any other DC spot.
Well, this isn't about what you think.
It doesn't matter.
It's about
In
what
Superman
I think.
Returns, they mentioned
This is
Gotham.
my review, so shut up. So, actors were all picked wonderfully. Some critics didn't really care for Henry Cavill's performance. They say he took the role too seriously. I think he did just great for. I think
Superman.
They're comparing it too much to. Yeah, he plays Superman, by the way. I think they compared it too much to Christopher Reeve, but you can't do that because the people who made this movie wanted to pretend like the other movies didn't happen. Not that they weren't bad, they were excellent, but they wanted to produce a new movie for a new generation, new culture, new society, and I think it's off to a heck of a start. And I cannot wait for the sequel. And they've already confirmed the sequel is going to be made officially. Everyone knew already, but it wasn't official until about 4 days ago. So I hope Lex Luthor comes back or comes in. And Kevin Spacey, we'd like to have you reprise your role as Lex Luthor. Although the movie makers probably won't do that because again they want to pretend like the others didn't have it. And Superman Returns was not as bad as people say it was. It was a decent effort by Bryan Singer. Is that what's his name, right? Robert Singer or Bryan Singer?
Nick?
Bryan Singer.
Bryan
Okay.
Singer. I get confused. Robert Singer's an executive producer for a lot of shows. I get them too and stuff. I don't know if they're related though. If you're fans of Smallville, you'll see some little homages they pay to this. They actually paid more homage to the Smallville series than they did to the Superman movies, surprisingly. Smallville, of course, is a little more recent and modern. The visual effects, when they're flying through around Metropolis, it's just breathtaking. Very, very, very cool.
See, they got that CG down.
It's never, and the clouds actually looked real. For once, the CG clouds looked real, assuming they are CG. They had to be. Out of 5 stars, I give this 4.5. Hey, the reason for that extra half star is there were a lot of little factors. This is not a perfect superhero
What
movie.
little factors?
So 4.5 out of 5 stars. That's actually my best review so far, so that counts for something.
You were wearing a Superman shirt and you gave it 4.5.
Oh yeah, okay. All right. Next week, next Friday, we're watching World War Z with Brad Pitt and a few other actors I don't remember their names.
And fake zombies.
They look fake, yeah, and it's PG-13. But it might be good. I mean, Die Hard 4.0 or Live Free or Die Hard was PG-13, but it's still badass.